Welcome to the Irresistible You podcast. This is the place to get a dose of empowerment to create the life you crave and deserve. I'm your host, Amy Beltran, CEO and founder of Irresistible University. I am here to help you love yourself so you can drop the body image issues and lose the emotional weight and gain the confidence to look and feel irresistible at any size. All right, you guys, this week is Thanksgiving. Can you believe it? I seriously, as much as I actively try to live and be in the moment, I cannot comprehend the fact that Thanksgiving is this week. And we all know what that means, right? Like, we might as well just say the holidays are officially here. Everybody's got their lights up already. I'm seeing trees in the windows. Everybody's got the Christmas stuff all over the place. And we are exactly 1 month away from Christmas Day as I'm recording this podcast, which means we're very close to ending not only another year, but another decade. That's crazy to me. And 2020, I've said it before on one of my episodes, but I feel like 2020, when I was younger and like in school, felt like it was this like super far into the future, crazy robotic age that, didn't even seem possible at the time. But we are here. We're right on the cusp of 2020. And what I want to talk to you about today is Thanksgiving. But this can also be applied to the rest of the holiday season, even things that aren't in November and December. But today we're specifically talking about this November and December timeframe, which, let's face it, it's basically December already because Thanksgiving fell really late this year than it normally does. So, anyway. The holidays are here. We can't deny it anymore. We can't say, get mad at the stores for putting all this stuff out on the shelves. The holidays are here. And so, what I hear from so many of you is a fear that you have a fear of losing control. Losing control over your food choices, losing control over the way you feel, and just kind of losing control altogether as it relates to your confidence journey and your weight loss journey. And so that's what I want to talk about with you today. There's a fear when you are an emotional eater or a binge eater, someone that struggles with their weight constantly. There is a fear that you are going to lose control just because it's the holiday season, just because it's Thanksgiving, okay? And so that's what I want to address with you today. And I'm sure that you've experienced this. Like, how many times have you just decided, you know what? I'm already overweight. I already hate my body. I'm already uncomfortable in my own skin. I'm not at my goal weight. So, what difference is November and December going to make? I'm just going to throw the towel in. I'm going to do whatever I want. I'm going to eat all the things that I want to eat. And I'm just going to chill until the new year starts. Right? How many times have you done that? I've done it many, many years, many, many times. And, it's like we think that just because Thanksgiving has arrived and now we're in the throes of the holiday season, that there's this never ending food fest and we can't have these foods any other time of the year. So what do? We go nuts around these foods and we act as though we have no self-control. We act as though that it's a big effing surprise that there's pumpkin pie and turtle pie and your mom's stuffing and this casserole and that casserole, as if that hasn't happened for the last 30 plus years of your life. I mean, come on. So I want to talk with you today about the fact that you need to take back your power. You need to step into your power. You need to own your power. And you need to know that the only thing that is stopping you, or the only thing that is going to allow you to lose control over Thanksgiving and the holidays, is you. And whether or not you lose control, that is up to you. That is 110% your decision and your choice. And I can already feel the resistance that some of you are having by listening to that, because you're not in a place yet where you can take ownership and responsibility of the fact that you are the only person that got you overweight. It wasn't your mom, it wasn't your aunt, your sister, your boss, your husband, your spouse, your kids. It was you. You are the only person that put the food in your mouth, that decided to sit your ass on the couch. It was because of you. And I know that might be hard to hear right now. That might be hard to understand. But if you can flip the script, that is actually one of the most empowering statements there is. It is so empowering to know you don't have to stay here either, because you are in control of whether you stay overweight or whether you lose the weight. Nobody else got you here but you. And nobody else can get you back down but you. And so, first and foremost, I just want you to step into that and say to yourself, like, I am in control. I have the ability to make the decision whether or not I'm going to lose control over the holidays. I get to make the choice whether or not November and December are just a wash and I'm going to start 2020 15 pounds over and in the hole again. That's on you. And I know that's hard to hear, because the holiday season, while it can be magical and sparkly and all the pretty things and all of that, there's also something about the holiday season for so many people that is incredibly triggering, right? Like, incredibly triggering to you wanting to soothe and cope with your emotions with the food. And so we think like, oh, I'm just gaining the weight and I'm just out of control because there's so much food everywhere. When the truth of it is that you've got some stuff that you're not dealing with that's coming up for you because this is the holiday season. Because the holiday season is not all shiny and sparkly and fun and Hallmark movie-like for every single person. And even if you're a happy person, even if your life is going good for you, there's a lot of things about going back home, going back to your hometown, spending time with family more so than you have it, the rest of the year, that can be very triggering. Even when, you've done all of the work on yourself, the personal development, the therapy and all the things, stepping back into that old place can trigger old routines, habits, thoughts, emotions that you maybe think you have dealt with, but they're still going to come up for you. And so it can be a very triggering time of year to be around certain people. But what I want you to recognize and what I want you to understand is that while some people are going to be assholes to be around, while some people are just toxic and negative, and they are not the reason why you are overeating. They are not the actual reason why the food goes into your mouth. You are the one that's in control of that. And so the first step is I want you to just realize that if you're feeling scared, feeling as if you have the ability to lose control over Thanksgiving and the holiday season, I want you to step into your power and realize that you have all the power. Your aunt, your mom, your in-laws, your grandma, your whoever doesn't have the power over you. You have that power. And when you can really understand that, when you really get that, it becomes so effing empowering to know there's nobody else that's going to break this. That's when your confidence becomes unfreaking breakable. When you know, no matter what anyone says to me, no matter what anybody does, I am in control of how I want to feel, how I want to treat my body. And so what I want for you from this episode, if you get anything out of this episode, is I want you to walk away knowing that you are 100% in full control over how the rest of this year goes. You are in control over how the rest of this year goes when it comes to how you want to feel, how you want to think about yourself and your body and your life. And so it is over time, it is past due time, girl, to take back your power. Understand that you have that in you. You are not a victim. We got to end the pity, girl. Like, the pity party is done. Goodbye. We got to stop throwing the pity party for ourselves. And we got to start throwing the, like, I'm the shit party, okay? Like, I am the shit. I am the bomb. I am like over here living my most irresistible life, and nothing else is going to faze me. It is time to own that. It is time to step into your power and own the fact that you get to be the author of your own story. And what is the story that you're telling yourself now? Oh, the holidays suck. Oh God, I gotta see my Aunt Betty, who always makes comments about my weight. And I gotta see my uncle, who's always drunk. And I gotta see, so and so and so and so are gonna get into an argument, and it's gonna be awkward, and they're gonna bring up politics, and they're gonna talk about this, and they're gonna talk about that. And so you're painting this story of how miserable, how negative, how depressing, and how bad everything is going to go. Instead of owning your piece of that, regardless of the chaos and the crazy around you. Okay? So the way that we do that, because let me just say this, and I'm going into this deeper in the monthly membership training this month. So if you want to take advantage of that and dive a little bit deeper into this, I would recommend go ahead and sign up into the membership. I'll put the links in the show notes and you can take a look at that. But we're going to dive deeper on the membership side into some things that I want you to do to, like, take action into how to get through these holidays, okay? But here's what I want you to hear and understand. There is something so incredibly amazing and powerful when you can go into a family function or an event and you can go in there with zero expectations for certain people. So if there's certain people in your life that you're always walking away the event upset, sad, mad, angry, frustrated because they didn't ask you how you're doing. They don't want to hear about whatever it is you have going on. They don't ask you questions. They say passive aggressive comments. When you can do the work on yourself and accept the fact that how this person treats you, how this person reacts to you is not your problem, that it is on them. That is, like, so empowering, because then you get to go into these events and these meals and all these things with zero expectations from certain people because when you are expecting that they're supposed to treat you a certain way and they're supposed to ask you certain questions and be interested in what you're doing and not say certain comments, that's when you walk away upset. That's when you walk away triggered, wanting to eat your way out of your emotions. And so what I'm encouraging you to do is to take back that power, be the author of your own story, know that you are in control. You can't control your asshole relatives, but you can control you. And you can control your self-worth, your confidence, and your self-love to where none of that stuff is going to faze you. And so one of the ways that we need to look at that is we have to change the way you're thinking and speaking to yourself and changing that story that you're telling yourself. And let's say, for example, one of the stories you're telling yourself is, I'm not going to be able to control myself with all the food that's at the parties. Okay? What? Like, maybe that's been the story in the past. Like, maybe there's truth to that. But why can't we rewrite that? Why can't we say, you know what? This year, I'm going to be in control of my food choices at all the holiday events. Because it's not like, oh my God, we woke up and it's Thanksgiving and then it's the holidays and we're surprised that all the same foods that have been on the table for however many years you've been alive are still sitting on the table. You already know what's going to happen. So you can control your choices. You have just chosen in the past not to do that. You have chosen in the past to just say, fuck it, and I'm going to go November, December, like I'm going to go ham with all the food and just wait till January. And then you're sad, mad, and depressed because you put on 10 to 15 pounds in the meantime. So telling yourself you have no control is a story and a lie that you're telling yourself. You have 100% control over what you choose to eat at these parties, at these events. One of the other things that, I know that we tell ourselves, here's a great one. Let's use an example. This is a very general example, okay? My aunt Betty, every Thanksgiving when we get together, she has to make some type of comment about my food choices and my weight. This is what I mean about let's change your expectations. If Aunt Betty has made disgusting comments about your weight for the past 20 years that you've been going to Thanksgiving dinner, what makes you think on year 21, what makes you think in 2019 she's just going to magically change and be this perfect angel at Thanksgiving dinner? She's not. She's still going to make her bullshit comments, her passive aggressive stuff. But you have to come to a place where your confidence, your self-love, and your self-worth is so freaking strong that you can look at her saying that and not be fazed and have zero expectations from her and know that what she is saying is not a reflection of your worth and who you are because you have done your work. And I would look at that person honestly with so much empathy to say like, wow, like she must be dealing with a lot of her own issues, and she's had these issues basically her entire life because she hasn't changed in 20 years to where she is so obsessed with my weight and my food choices. Who does that? And so if you know that person is going to show up with their comments, if you know that person is going to show up like a drunk asshole, don't expect it to change because it's 2019. Expect you to make changes to how you react, to how you think, and to how you speak to yourself. That doesn't excuse their behavior. It doesn't excuse the fact that some people are assholes. It just protects you and puts boundaries around your energy so that you're not the one absorbing all of that toxicity and then wanting to just eat because you're not sure how to deal with your emotions. So I tell you guys, like, you have to lose this emotional weight. If you don't lose the emotional weight, you're not dealing with what's actually going on. And so you're using food as an excuse. Oh, I'm going to lose control. I don't know how to do this. I'm going to lose all my control. You're losing your control because you're using food as a way to deal with your bullshit. You're using food as a way to deal with your bullshit cousins, aunts, moms, in-laws, whoever. And so don't think because it's 2019 and it's year 21 that they're going to magically change when you know damn well they're not going to change. So you have to do the work on yourself to have utter ridiculous self-love, self-worth, and confidence within yourself so that someone can say certain things and literally like it just rolls off your back because you know that's not like it has no reflection on you because you don't believe it. If I don't believe that I'm a fat, disgusting piece of shit, you could call me that all day long and I'm just going to feel sorry for you. I'm going to feel sorry for you that that's how you choose to live your life, seeing people in that way. Because I don't think I'm a fat, disgusting piece of shit. But as long as you believe that you are, then these things are going to bother and trigger you. And sometimes also, I said this earlier in the podcast, but just being back home. What is back home for you? Is it getting on a plane and going to your mom, your in-laws? Is it going down the street, like your childhood home? What does being back home mean to you? And is that triggering for you? And so if you know these things in advance, there's things that you can do to protect yourself and protect your energy and your boundaries from these things allowing you to lose control. And it's true. So when you're zombie walking it through life and you're not paying attention, you're like, oh, well, I don't know how it happened. I just put on 15 pounds since Thanksgiving. Well, it's yeah, because you weren't awake. You weren't paying attention. You weren't making conscious decisions to say wait a second, I have all the control here. I have full control over how I deal with the situation. So I want you to know you have so much power inside of you, so much confidence and self-worth and self-love that you just haven't tapped into yet. It's like the diamond, like you're chipping away and it's in there. And I want you to keep chipping away, and I want you to recognize and realize that you have that inside of you. You don't have to just be what everyone else expects you to be from your family. You don't have to just settle because nobody else has ever risen above a certain point in their family. I want you to understand that even when you do this work on yourself, even when you have, gone through the personal development, you've gone through the programs, you've gone to therapy, you've done all the things, this time of year can still be triggering for you. And I want you to know that that's okay. And I also want you to know that telling yourself, I'm going to lose control over and over again, yeah, you probably will, unless you take control and make the decision that you're going to change the way you think and speak to yourself. You're going to change the way that you think about these events before you go into them. You're going to have a plan and a strategy ahead of time. And if you want to learn more on how to do that, that is exactly what I'm teaching this month inside of the Irresistible You membership, which is linked in the show notes. So here's how I want to wrap this up, you guys. I want you to have an amazing Thanksgiving. I want you to remember the season and what it's about. And it's about being thankful and grateful for all the things in your life. I want you to focus on that. Don't focus on the crazy and the chaos and like all the different pieces of, like, enjoy the food without being obsessive about it. Enjoy the season, the friends, the family, the moments, the memories, the lights, the decor. Like, be in the moment and see this as like just this beautiful time of year, because again, that's the story you get to tell yourself. You either get to tell yourself, this sucks, I hate going back home for Thanksgiving, I can't stand these people, or you get to tell yourself, you know what, I love this time of year. I got this under control. I'm going to go enjoy some food. I'm going to enjoy my family, and I'm going to go do what I want to do. Okay? So that is all. I send you all the love, all the light, all the peace, and I am so incredibly grateful to have you as a listener to the Irresistible You podcast. I love doing these podcasts. I love interacting with you guys. This is like my favorite thing to do. And I hope that you find value in the episodes that I'm putting out. And if you are, I would be grateful for you if you could leave a rating and review on iTunes to help us spread the word, spread the message to other women that are struggling right now to find that self-love, and they need to hear this. So on that note, for everyone in the U.S., happy Thanksgiving. Thank you so much for listening. And until the next one, stay irresistible.